Hello, everybody. This is Dave Shaw with the Right Livelihood College at UC Santa Cruz, and I'm going to do a short video now about using Zotero for research. And I will start by just sharing my screen. So the first thing I'd like to start with is actually just a general comment about doing research. And there's a useful concept called the research funnel. And there's many different versions of it. Here's one that I thought would be a good example for today. And with research, we want to start by discovering a research question and narrowing down our research from a broad general inquiry to something very specific. Otherwise, when we research, we're just looking for all these different resources, for all these different questions, and it can get kind of overwhelming. And so in this example, we start with at a more general level, seeing what's out there, and then start narrowing down to a specific research question and objectives. And so you might have a general topic and you start searching for what literature is out there, what movies are out there, and just kind of getting a sense basically around the question of what is known and what is not known. That's ultimately where we're going. The next part of the funnel is to start to provide a brief overview of key ideas, key themes, key questions that scholars are asking, perhaps even the methods that scholars are using to conduct their research. And then again, summarizing, comparing, and contrasting the research of key authors in that field, narrowing it down even further to highlight previous research work most relevant to your own research ideas, providing a detailed account of the findings of the research and showing how they're related, then highlighting those aspects where your own research will provide fresh insights. So you've highlighted above what is known, and then you're saying, this is what is not known, and this is what my research is going to explore and try to know for the sake of humanity. Lead the reader into subsequent sections of your project report which explore these issues. So that's a basic research funnel from very broad to specific. Okay. Now, when conducting research for a literature review, for example, I'm just going to walk through a few basic steps. First, you'll want to log into your campus VPN at UC Santa Cruz. That way you have access to whatever library catalogs and journals that our campus has a paid subscription to. And so on our campus, that looks like using the Cisco AnyConnect client, which if you go to the library website, there's a tutorial on how to get linked in there, but I'm logged in with my account. The next thing is Google Scholar. I just wanted to point out this useful tool, and let's look for articles by Matt Spark, for example. I can click, type in his name and it'll find everything. I can also go here and find all these articles by Professor Matthew Spark at UC Santa Cruz, Director of Global and Community Health and Professor of Politics. So let's just leave it here for now and just note how helpful Google Scholar is. I'm going to go back and show again this basic search that has, the title, the journal, the year, citations, related articles is pretty cool to see what articles are connected, or even you can go back and see which articles have cited that article or book chapter. Here you can see if it's available online as HTML, as a PDF, if you want to get it through the University of California Library, on and on like that. Okay, that's Google Scholar. Another very helpful library catalog is called WorldCat, which is the largest library catalog in the world. And again, we'll type in Matt Spark. And okay, we're seeing a lot of things not by Matt Spark, but here's one that is. Okay. And also we can see here's a bunch of different authors. Show more. Oh, still show even more. Okay, here we actually see Matthew Spark, right? And I'm seeing that there's, okay, now we've found a number of articles. Great. So that's one way to conduct research here. Now it has the author AU:Spark, Matthew listed here. Many ways to use the WorldCat as a search engine. Okay, that's all well and good. Next, you've got your Canvas course at UC Santa Cruz, or some other campuses use Moodle, whatever it might be. Professors will give you different articles. And here we've got one by Matthew Spark, 2022, Neoliberal Disease, or 2021. And here we go. There's the article, and we can even click here. I believe that will download it. But here we're looking at it via Canvas. Oftentimes what I'll want to do is grab the title and then actually look at it through a browser like this. So it'll pull it up in the journal itself. Now let's move to Zotero. So what is Zotero? Zotero.org will tell you it's a personal research assistant. It's basically a reference manager. And as we're conducting research through a variety of journals and books and articles that people are giving us and email and just research is coming at us, it's good to get organized, especially earlier in one's academic career, because as we build our own personal database of the articles we like, we can add notations to them. We can tag them, we can search them, we can create our own sort of curated greatest hits. It's like a mixtape, if you will. So I recommend everyone downloads the desktop app for Mac, Windows, and Linux. Then you also will want to, let's see, where is it? There's other things you can download here, like the Zotero connector for your browser as well. There's also other plugins we could look at later, but those are the core of what you'll need. Another thing you're going to want to do is to create a group or a login. You want to create your own login. So I believe it's just here, and I'm already logged in. But if I wasn't, it would have a sign up option here. And so you'll want to go ahead and sign up. That will allow your references and your library on your Zotero, on your computer to sync in case you lose your computer or something like that. But also when we create groups, if you want to collaborate with other colleagues, we can all sync our libraries or curated collections together, which I'll show you in a moment. Okay, now let's take a look at the desktop app. So here's the desktop app. It's got my own personal library of things just on my computer, and then there are groups. And for the example here, we're going to look at the Mumbai Santa Cruz COIL, or Collaborative Online International Learning course. And this is a group that anyone can join by giving me your Zotero login name. I don't need your password, just your name, and then I can add you. Some groups are open, and you can just add the group and get the collection just by surfing the internet. This one is closed just for students in this class. Okay, and these are references I've already put in based on what is on Canvas, right? All of the articles and videos and things that are here, as well as other articles that were discovered as we were putting this course together. Some of these are articles that might be highly relevant to the project students are doing, but they didn't make their way into the required readings of the course. This one in particular is standing out to me right now. All I Eat are ARVs, antiretroviral drugs, the paradox of AIDS treatment interventions in central Mozambique. That I remember reading as we were preparing this course. And you'll see it's got in Zotero desktop, you've got different icons for articles, documents, audio-visual materials, books. It's a really quick way of seeing the difference there. If I do the drop down here, I can see that I actually do have the PDF of the article And it also has a link to where the article is found online. And then it has all the bibliographic material here. It's got the journal, the date. Sorry, here's the journal, the volume and issue, all that. It's got a place for notes. If I wanted to add a note, I read this on April 10th, 2021. I could even put my name in case this is a shared note with other people, which it is right now because it's in our group library. The most salient point is ... I could put it in there, and then other people could comment, thanks, Dave. I too found that point salient. On and on like that. Now, these notes are helpful because you can actually go back and search through the notes later if you're preparing for an exam that's timed and you want to be able to access your original thinking very quickly, or find a quote. You can paste certain quotes in here. And there is some formatting options. There are some formatting options here to format your notes and make them more useful. So that's the notes. I'm going to delete that one because it's not particularly good. And then there's tags. So this one had tags pre-set, thankfully, by the journal it was downloaded from. And that's one of the reasons why when I'm saving articles, I like to save them from the journal or from WorldCat, not from Amazon, not from Canvas. And I'll show you that again in a little bit. And related, I don't have any related articles added in here, but tags and info, these are very important right here. And you'll see there are other articles. Let's just see the Oxford Handbook of Global Health Politics does have some tags, but maybe you want to add some tags. Maybe you want to, let's see, Introduction to Global Health Delivery. Okay. So what if we knew this was related to community health workers? And so what if we wanted to add the tag community health workers? That's how we could do it like that. And if I click here on the overall group, there's a section here I can pull up which has the tags. These are tags for the entire group library. And so I can see what are the ones that contain global community health workers so far. There's 3. Okay. Okay, and they're using that tag. So that's helpful. What is next? So adding references. Let's go there. So you are in Google Scholar. You find an article, you click on it. I've installed the Zotero connector, and there's a little icon right here, Save to Zotero. And this icon will look differently based on if it's a book or if you're looking at it in WorldCat. So, stay tuned for what the icon will look like. But if you hover over it, it'll say Save to Zotero. And I click on it, and it does this, and I see, oh, it's getting the full PDF because the journal has made it available online. And I have access to it. So there it goes. It's saved. Now I go back to Zotero and voila, there it is. I'm going to untag that and just show there it is. And it's in here twice because I actually already had this in my catalog, my library. If I pull down, I can see there's the article, there's this, there's the info. That one had these tags here. So there we go. If I click here, double click on this, I can actually open the article that's saved in the library. And furthermore, just to let you know, I can go ahead and make changes. Oops, I'm going to not do that right now. For example, let's say I'm interested in vulnerability, the global body politic, etc. I can make highlights and then save. And then when I close this down and then reopen it, it's actually saved the edits here, which is helpful for your own library. Furthermore, like I said, you can add notes. as I'm reading, I could say, key quote, and then add in a key quote here. And then there they are. Okay, so that's one way. Another way is, let's imagine, let's stay here and I want to grab this title. I'm going to copy that. Let's go back to here and I'll come to WorldCat and I'll add in this. Here we have the article. There's two of them, two references to it. Presumably, they're the same, but what if we go here and okay, there's two different options. I select one and hit okay and it'll save it. Let's do another example. Let's do, for example, the work of Vandana Shiva. Okay, I'm seeing a bunch of different references. And here, again, I can actually grab multiple at the same time. Let's do everything with her as an author. Okay. Let's say I wanted to do Vandana Shiva agroecology. Okay. Who really feeds the world? And I can grab multiple at the same time, and now it will grab both of them and put them in here. And I've organized this by creator. So if I go to Shiva, here you go. There are the two articles. Now this brings me to another point. This one looks good. It's a book. It's got the title. It's got the author, date. Doesn't have the publisher. That would be better. If we're going to cite this, we're going to need that information. But look at this one. The metadata, we call this, is not clean. And so actually no Andre Liu. So I'm going to clean that up. This abstract is also not very good. And so one idea would be to go back to WorldCat. And what was that one called? Biodiversity agroecology. Okay. Oh, it's an E like that. So let me fix this. I always want to get people's names. If you hold down E on your keyboard, it'll pop this up and you can then correct that. Okay, what's up with this? Okay, so that's what's going on. So it's good, except for this just looks a little weird. So let's go ahead and just delete this. That's better. Publisher. No publisher. Who's the publisher? I don't see it. So I would then, quite honestly, just go here and go to the internet and search, and probably, to be honest, go to Google Books. I don't really like to use Amazon. Okay, there we go. And then back here, and I'm gonna add that in. We like to keep the metadata clean. And that's so if you export a bibliography, it's got the data there, and it's easier to do it as you go than to be in the middle of writing a paper and have to go back and do all the grunt work. So keep the metadata clean as you go. Is my advice. Okay, what is next? That's adding references. So you're adding references to your catalog here, your group library, keeping the metadata clean. We talked about adding tags. We talked about Zotero groups. And now let's talk about saved searches. So there's titles, there's authors, there's dates, there's publishers, there's tags. Now I'm creating saved searches. So if I go to search, and then I want to search in the library and match any of the following where the tag contains, let's see, the tag contains community health workers and the title contains community health workers. And we're going to search any subcollections. We don't have any collections or subcollections yet. I'll show you that in a moment, but search. Okay, so now we have everything in this group library that has either a tag or a title that's community health workers. If I say matches all of the following, it's a much smaller list, but usually we'll do any. And there we go. We've got these. Now, you can say saved search and say community health. Oops, I spelled that wrong. Community health workers. But I already have one right here. So maybe it's a bad example, but you hit OK and there you go. You'll note that they're actually the same because I use the same parameters. So I'll delete one of these because we don't need to. I've made other examples of the social determinants of health or agriculture and agroecology. If I double click on that, I can see what we've done here. Tag, title. Title contains agriculture, tag contains agriculture, tag contains agroecology. Why don't we add one that's title contains agroecology as well? Search subcollections, any of the following, we've given it a title. There you go. Oh, it even added one because we've added this one. There you go. This is a very interesting one, audio visual. So it's any of the following this is the type of item. It is an audio recording, it is a video, it is a film, it is a podcast, it is a radio broadcast, it is a TV broadcast. Any of those are going to show up here. So this is if you're wanting to maybe pull some found media, maybe you're making a video or a podcast and you want to get some audio visual material, you can pull it from here. So these are called saved searches. And then there's this thing called collections. I don't use collections very often. They're more static, but here's how you can do it. You can come to your overall library and you go file, new collection. And we have the example. Let's just say this is around agriculture. Okay, there's nothing in it yet, but I can come here and I can say, or actually, let's do another example. Let's say this is group 2. There's a group that's getting a project together, and we're going to be doing people-centered social innovation. I'm going to drag that over. We're going to be doing something about the corporate influence of the United Nations and the World Health Organization. Okay, and we're also looking at Paul Farmer's work, like that. And then we're citing Matt Sparks' article around the Global South. And so now we have this group that has these, and let's say this is going to be something that we're citing for our project. We can select everything, select the top one, hold down the shift button and select the bottom one. And then I'm going to 2-finger tap or right click, and I can say create bibliography from items. And I can choose APA or Chicago Manual of Style or MLA, choose APA. I'm going to do the output mode as a bibliography. I'm going to copy it to the clipboard. I click OK. And then I'm going to go back to, let's say I've started a paper and I've got this paper here. And let's just do introduction, or we can say abstract, introduction, body, and then there's a subheading, and then a conclusion, and then a bibliography. Okay, I like to use formats. So I go here and I'm going to make these all heading 1, and now these headings pop up, but except for subheading, that's going to be heading 2. And, you know, to be honest, there probably, when I'm making that outline right now for my paper, there's probably going to be 3 subheadings there. I like using these because then I can kind of bounce around and they edit, you know, they update automatically. I usually, by the way, will also add a insert, where is it, footer, and I'll usually put page and then insert page number of page count. Always a good thing to do, and usually center that. In any case, here we go, and maybe this is my paper, yada, yada, yada. There you go. And here's that bibliography. I'm going to come down and I'm going to go paste and then paste. Oh, I forgot I did that. Let's go back to Zotero. Again, 2-finger tap, create bibliography. Okay. And now paste. What has just happened? Make bibliography from items. Okay. Something is going wrong here. There we go. So there is your bibliography. It's in the correct style. It's got everything you need. You never have to create a bibliography again. Isn't that amazing? Although it's not justified correctly. It's kind of indented. So I'm going to actually select everything and move this over. And you know what I might even do? I might even bring it in a little bit. So there you have it, folks. There's another feature called Cite as you write for Microsoft Word, or there's the Zotero connector for Google Docs. So I've got that installed. I believe it's a plugin. And so this is pretty amazing. So I've shown you how to copy paste a bibliography, but imagine I'm citing Swati Banerjee 2019, and I haven't done this because that's kind of a static way. It doesn't automatically update. But let's say here, I'm saying something as Banerjee said, ... And then I can go here, parentheses, Zotero, add citation. Now it's accessing my catalog. It's accessing my Zotero. I'm going Banerjee, People-Centered Social Innovation 2019, enter. And now it will put, oh, I didn't even need this parentheses at the beginning. It'll put this reference in here. And furthermore, when I go down to bibliography, I can say Zotero add bibliography, and it will automatically update. So as I'm going, and I say, you know, as Shiva said, and then I go insert Shiva. Let's say we're doing Who Really Feeds the World, 2016. There we go. And then it's automatically updated. So that, my friends, is everything I wanted to show you about using Zotero for doing research projects. Thank you very much.